Now, recently, Bernie Sanders was on with Chuck Todd, and he decided to, of course, instead of asking Bernie about Medicare for All, which is his bill that's gaining traction, or disaster relief for the hurricanes, or about a million other important things, Chuck Todd decides to ask Bernie Sanders about Hillary Clinton. Now, Hillary Clinton right now is in the middle of a book tour and has recently went after Bernie Sanders and claimed that he did irreparable harm to her campaign. And another claim, of course, is that he just didn't work hard enough to help Hillary Clinton get elected. Now, look, Clinton, you better look in a mirror there, because the one that deserves most of the blame here is you. I'm just saying. The lack of awareness, man. Anyway, Sanders, he's gonna be on with Meet the Press, right? And they're gonna talk about Hillary Clinton, and I want to show you the clip in context. So let's watch.
Your former primary rival, Hillary Clinton, is on a book tour. She wrote a lot about you in this book. I just want to play one quick excerpt and get you to respond on the other side, sir.
I was arguing with my supporters at the Denver convention in 2008 about why they had to quit complaining that I didn't win and get out and support Barack Obama. And I didn't get that respect from him and his supporters.
As you know, you've probably seen at least some excerpts of the book. I don't know if you've fully read it yet, but this is a consistent theme. She believes you didn't work hard enough to bring your supporters to the fold the way she did in 08, which is what she was pointing there. And if anything, your supporters may have undermined her candidacy in the general election. Do you accept that criticism?
Wow. No, I really don't. And I look, Chuck, right now we're focusing on health care. We're focusing on the doctor issue. We're focusing on infrastructure, high cost of prescription drugs. I don't think it's useful to go backwards. I think we've got to go forwards. But let me just say this. I worked as hard as I could. After endorsing Hillary Clinton, I went all over this country. And I would remind people, people say, well, not everybody who voted for Bernie ended up voting for Hillary. No kidding. That's what happens in politics. If my memory is correct, in 2008, something like 24% of the people who voted for Hillary Clinton in the primaries ended up voting for John McCain. That's the nature of politics. Most people, are not rigidly Democrats or Republicans. They vote where they want. I worked as hard as I could to see that Hillary Clinton would be elected president.
Okay, so look, he looks like he's sick of talking about that, and I don't blame him. I'm sick of talking about it. But look, the fact that he has to defend himself still is ridiculous. Again, he endorsed her, much to the chagrin of a lot of his supporters, who were like, "Oh my God, Bernie, he's sold out. He's endorsing Hillary Clinton, the warmonger." Terrible, terrible Bernie Sanders, whatever, right? Not only that, but he campaigned for her. He went all around the nation for her. But look, he didn't have to actually do that. You know why? Because he was a Democrat. Because he's not a Democrat. Hillary Clinton supporters love to point that out, but he was under no obligation to actually go out and campaign. I know, yes, he said he had made a promise to endorse and campaign for the winner as running for a Democrat, and he did so, right? But is that enough? Apparently it is not. Look, the truth is there's nothing more that Sanders could have actually done. He actually did everything that he could do to help try to get Hillary Clinton elected. The person that dropped the ball and made sure that Hillary Clinton didn't get elected is Hillary Clinton. Again, she's the one to blame here. Now, I want to talk about something interesting that Bernie Sanders threw out there. And that was where he said that 24% of Hillary Clinton primary voters in 2008 ended up going for McCain. That's very interesting. That's a large number. That's about a quarter, okay? Now, I went and I fact-checked that, right? And it turns out that is actually 100% correct. Now, 24% of her voters. Now, she's like, we got to support President Barack Obama. I went out there and I campaigned for him and I tried to get all my voters out there to support him. 24% said, no, we're going to go with a Republican instead. We're not going to vote for the black guy. And yet she's bitching about the 12% of Bernie Sanders voters that voted for Trump. That's funny. Because look, a lot of those people were independents. Some of them were even Republicans those people were not going to vote for Hillary Clinton no matter what he said. They were never going to vote for Clinton. But not only that, but let's get to the larger issue of whether or not it's the job of the losing candidate in a primary to give their voters over to the winner. I don't think that's their job at all. That's not how it works. You don't just give over your voting base. The winner of the primary has to earn those votes. And look, it is easier when it's two establishment Democrats that are just vaguely different on the issues. But Bernie Sanders wasn't that. He wasn't another establishment Democrat. And he had a completely different campaign and a completely different message. Hillary Clinton, she failed to capitalize on that energy that he brought into the Democratic Party. She failed to do so. She did not earn those votes. And look, if you think you were owed votes, well, then you're doing politics all wrong. It actually involves trying to campaign and trying to appeal to people. But see, look, this whole blame tour kind of shows who Hillary Clinton is. She's disconnected with the American people. She doesn't understand their problems. And she was unable to reach the people that she needed to win. And yet she didn't realize it. She doesn't know that. She doesn't understand how disconnected she is. She's in that Washington bubble, right? Now, in that Washington bubble, you've got all these establishment figures that are saying, no, it's Comey, it's the Bernie bros. Wasn't your fault. It's not the fact that the establishment is super unpopular and you just happen to embody everything that's wrong with the establishment. No. The American people love the establishment. That's what they say. It's those damn voters. It's their fault. Since they don't love the establishment and they're wrong. Or it's the Russians. They made you lose. The Russians made you not campaign in Michigan and Wisconsin, despite the volunteers. They must have hacked the volunteers, right? That were begging you to come out and to spend your resources and to campaign in those states. Nope. It's not your fault. It's the Russians, it's Bernie bros, it's Bernie Sanders, it's James Comey, it's everybody else but you. And I know somebody will watch this and be like, somebody from the establishment will be like, how dare you malign our beloved Hillary Clinton? And you know what the sad thing is too? Is that I see people that I generally like and that I generally respect repeating these same talking points against Bernie Sanders, the talking points that are repeated by people in the DNC right now that are blaming Bernie Sanders. It's fucking ridiculous. Look, I'm tired of litigating the election. It's over. Donald Trump is the winner. We should learn our lesson and fucking move on and actually win the next couple of elections. It would be nice to fucking win again. The only way we're going to win is if we learn our lessons from the past. The correct lessons on how to reach out to people, on what people actually want. And right now, they do not want the establishment. They do not want the status quo. They want change, and they want positive change. Why do you think Bernie Sanders is the most popular politician in the country? Even popular, he's got a 73% approval rating among African Americans. 55, I think, among women. 53% among white men. No, you're going to call that person racist and sexist, and you're going to say that he did irreparable harm to your campaign. No, the only one that did irreparable harm is you. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of having the same conversation. I know you guys have heard me argue the same thing over and over and over again. But look, if they're going to continue to not learn anything, if they're going to continue to smear somebody like Bernie Sanders and smear somebody like Tulsi Gabbard, they're going to smear Nina Turner. They're smearing Nina Turner. Then we have to respond against the establishment. We have to respond. And we cannot let these baseless bullshit attacks continue. We just can't. So it's time to fight back. And fight back hard. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.